Alright, so this is for the people on the Fortnite competitive sub just asking me about box fighting. So, I mean, this doesn't need to be like exactly proportional to Fiber's map, but I mean, you could just imagine these angles in this sort of way. So I'm just gonna draw like a 3x3 really quick. Okay, so here's your 3x3, right? And so the enemy is on this side, right? And then you are on this side. And so right here, you could like, so just imagine this is like a stair in here, and it's edited to like the right hand peak angle. So like this is open, but there's some cover here. Now you don't, we could like, I guess go over the situation like without the stair, but I mean like you could get a lot of dirty angles, but just for reference, like here's what you could do. So now these walls in between here could be edited, right? Like, and so here's the Fortnite, I guess. Edit tile. Is it three? I don't fucking know. I think it's like this, right? So the edit you want to do for this wall, it always wants to be like a right hand peak where you give space. So you edit these tiles, for example. So like this would just be the wall, or you could do this one, and it's like that is the wall, right? So the reason why you edit this wall here, so you're two tiles away from your opponent here, right? So this wall will give you like a right hand peek. So you could peek right behind here. Maybe this in green. So you could use this right here for cover. And then you'll also have this stair in here, right? So, and then they'll be here at this angle. Now, they could just right hand peek and not peek and avoid it. But let's say they do like the three tile edit. So, let me draw this shit again. So, like, yeah, let's say they do sorry, this edit where they do this. Now, in order to counter that, when you jump, you could be standing here, right? And they jump and go for that edit, and you could use these to like bait them. So you could like be running straight at them, and then you could just crouch and like strafe to that little bit of cover, or like with the stair, like you could be running like diagonal, or you could be running like right and then kind of go diagonal. So like that kind of like just going back, and you could bait their peak, and then when they go for their shot, you could return fire and go for a shot. Now this same thing applies. So let's say there's no stair in this box, right? And you're pushing up here. This is just basic right hand peek, right? They added a window. Now the where you get the dirty angles is, so if they added a window, obviously you want to be standing on the left. If they do middle window, you want to be standing on the left side of the wall, just because like you don't want to get right hand peeked. But like also they could edit basically with the left hand peek. Well, which is like I guess essentially a left hand peek. It's not legit a left hand peek, but like here, let me draw it. So like if you are right hand peeking on this like window area, right? They could edit like basically all of that. They could do this tile edit so they get covered too, and you'll just get completely exposed. And just knowing these like I guess basic principles of box fighting will like bring you a long way. And like you could learn, you could figure this shit out a lot by yourself. Like what my friend would do against me is he would literally just do this edit where this is just the wall, and he would just right hand peek me from like two boxes away because I would just take stupid angles. But like when you fight against players and when you take really smart angles and every single fight, you will like know like what to do. And then once you do that, you can start being aggressive. And like I've learned a lot of angles. Like so you're editing a stair, right? So like obviously you always do like, I don't have like window capture for like Fortnite game, and I can't put on Fortnite right now. But like you could do this stare at it, right? And like where there's like the little like hinge here, instead of the hinge being like flipped, like not the reverse one, but this edit of a right hand peek here, and you could be standing in this box and you could window peek them, or like you could put like a wall here and just like do a window peek. Another one is like rotating the stair. You'll see pros do this a lot, but they'll like rotate the stair like sideways, and then they'll edit a window and go for a peek. I think like Paper, Nosh, Chaotic, they do that a lot. But just like what you really want to be understanding is you want to like think about the game, I guess, in just terms of like angles, like for everything, and like you just need to every edit you make and every I guess thing you do, you want it to be calculated and you want it to be a right hand peek. And like you think like, oh yeah, I could just wall take someone and then do the fucking mongrel thing and edit and I'll win the fight. But that's really not how it works. There's a lot of mind games and just like little baits with you that you could do with your movement. And like here, I'll show you one more thing. I mean, I think I honestly need to be playing Fortnite to be doing this, show this, but so let's say someone is boxed up, right? I want to put this black. It's actually nicer. Okay, so someone is boxed up, right? You place a stair here, and what people do a lot is they'll do this edit, the 3 tile, as soon as you just place a stair, and they'll try and peek you. Or well, like there's a new one too, the Canada one, where you do like all of this, yeah, all of that, I think, and then you just like crouch and unpeek. But like the main one, the one that's meta, is this one, right? So what you could do is like when they do that, you could be standing at the very like apex of your ramp. Like you don't want to be like close because like if they do that, they just fucking win the trade every time. But you could do this, and you could jump in pre-fire when they do that edit, right? So you're up here aiming at them. Here, wait, I'll draw red for enemy, and then blue for you. So you could be up here at the top, and you literally just have this amazing angle if you jump when they go for that. And then also you could place a floor here and then edit through the floor and just do like a bunch of shit. You have a bunch of options off that. And you'll like also see like if you watch Clicks or Mongrel or Benji, they always go for these pre-fires. And that's because they know that like the player is usually gonna do this. And if you wait like when they're doing this edit, usually they're not gonna have a counter stair in their box. So after you do that, you could pump them and then put a stair. So like it's really all just knowing about the mix-ups and just knowing everything your opponent can do in these fights. And like once you I guess understand like how to play angles, then you could start like being aggressive and going for like 50-50s and shit. But like what you really need to just understand is just like think of it as a grid, like the whole game. Like play Fiber's box fight map, that helps a lot like thinking about the game like this. And just like make sure don't like just straight up like 50-50 someone. Like you wanna like play shit smart, and the way that you could learn this a lot, like really well, is by like this is like the I guess summary, but putting a stair in this box, editing it at a right hand peak, and then just sitting back here going for angles, and then you want this wall or whatever wall you have edited into this I guess right hand peak. So either it being this or this. So yeah, that's basically it. And if any of you guys want a box fight, I can maybe help you guys out. But yeah, that's it. Hold on, let me stop recording.